Hello everyone, it is TreeckoBro! Yes! I really had no intro plan for that, sorry. So yeah, today we are going to be reviewing some other Animal Crossing villagers and NPCs and stuff, simply because you guys really liked how the ranking video came out, and honestly, I really have nothing else to do on my island. I mean, I do have stuff to do, but I can't really think of anything video-worthy. I really just have to collect furniture, and that's kind of boring. I mean, rocks was boring, but buying furniture might be even more boring. There's no IKEA in the game. So, we are going to be heading to a new spot, because I took down the old spot. Hopefully this spot looks just as good for the video though. So yeah, I set up a table here. It has the notes and the chair and the stuff and the good stuff. So we are going to be sitting here, and I am going to be giving you my thoughts on every single Animal Crossing NPC in the game, as well as some other things here and there. I'm planning to cover the Amiibo Villagers as well. I hope you guys enjoy. Let me just pull up my my notes, and let's get started. Here's hoping I get every single one. There really shouldn't be as many I don't have in this one compared to my other one, simply because there are just a lot less NPCs, but we shall see. So yeah. Blanka. Okay, yeah, I believe this was the cat that you're supposed to draw on her face? I don't really remember what game she's from. I don't think she's in New Horizons in any capacity. I don't even remember if she's in New Leaf, really. I never really got her, oddly enough, which is weird because Blanka is kind of a very famous thing from Animal Crossing that you're supposed to draw on her face. But I never got it, and I'm kind of sad I never did, honestly, because it just sounds like such a goofy thing, and it sounds kind of fun, honestly. I don't really know what else to say about Blanka, because she doesn't really feel like a special villager or NPC or whatever, simply because she's just there to have her face drawn, so very weird one to start, but yeah. Blathers! Aw, yeah, I love you, Blathers. You are super cool. I love his little bow tie. I love his little, I love how, like, professional he looks. He's got a really cute look to him, honestly. He kind of reminds me of Owl from Winnie the Pooh a little bit. Like, just kind of that higher sophistication from our resident owl villager. He's a really cool one, and honestly, he's a classic too. He never really had to be updated. You know, I know they threw in Celeste. I don't remember when they threw in Celeste, but Blathers has never been replaced, which is really cool. I mean, like, every villager has had some sort of, like, attempt to replace them or retire them. Tortimer was retired. It seemed to me like they were trying to replace Tom Nook with Isabel, like, as the mascot and overall just kind of like person you report to in New Leaf. But alas, you know, Tom Nook's Tom Nook. The one lizard guy got replaced with Flick, and so on and so forth. But Blathers is timeless, and he is a really cool NPC, so I'm glad he stuck around for all this time. It's really funny how he hates bugs but loves fish or fossils or whatever. Like, there are just some of those things that look really freaky, but but no, just strictly bugs. Strictly bugs. I mean, I think I kind of relate to him because I hate bugs too. Booker. Okay, so of the two cop dog villagers, I actually really like Booker. Like, he's definitely my favorite of the two. I love his species of dog. Okay, Bulldog. Yes, a Bulldog. I was gonna call him a pug, but yeah, I do. I love his species of dog. They're just so cute. I really, really like Bulldogs. But Booker, yeah, Booker is definitely my favorite of the two. I'm kind of sad the two cop villagers didn't really come back, or the guards, or whatever they were, in New Horizons. It would have been really cool to have them back, honestly. I kind of forgot what the other one... Is the other one called Copper? I don't remember. This one's Booker, though, so yeah, Booker's cool. Booker is a really cool one. Brewster! Okay, yep, here we go. Brewster is my favorite NPC in the entire game. He is my favorite special villager, or whatever it is. I don't know why I keep calling them special villagers. Yeah, he's my favorite NPC in the entire game. He is a classic. I love Brewster. I love how mellow he is and just kind of like introverted he is. He just wants to sit there and make his coffee, man. And he doesn't really want to talk. He's friendly, but he doesn't really want to talk. He just kind of wants to do his own thing. Plus his design is super duper cute. Brewster's a classic. I really love how in New Leaf you can end up working for Brewster, giving people their coffee every day. That was always just such a cool part of New Leaf. That was the one thing I actually did every day, was go and work for Brewster. I really, really hope he comes back in New Horizons because he is easily my favorite NPC. CJ? Oh yeah, so CJ, I don't know what the consensus is on CJ. I like him. I actually do like him. I just don't think he's as cool as Flick is for sure. Because in New Horizons, they replaced the bug-off dude and the fishing tournament dude with 2 new NPCs, and one is Flick, and he's amazing, and the other is CJ, who replaces, I don't know, I'm sure we'll get to him. I think he does his job fairly enough. I do kind of like his whole streaming aspect to him, and honestly, I love when you give him a fish, and he does this thing where he, like, takes pictures, like, you know, it's super cute. He does his job well. I just don't think he's, like, the best thing ever. CJ's cool. Celeste, oh, now that's a cute little birdie. Yeah, Celeste kind of is in conjunction with Blathers, at least in the older entries of Animal Crossing, where you could go up to the planetarium and talk to Celeste. In New Horizons, she appears infrequently to give you star DIYs and such. It is appreciated that she is in the game. I just wish she was in it more. I love how she looks in the game. She is just a plain cutie. Yeah, I do like her kind of like simple design she has going. She just has the 2 pink pom-poms, and she's just a red little owl who tells you about stars and stuff. So she's just as cute now as she was then. So yeah, works out. Okay, here we go. Since I'm going in alphabetical order. Chip. Okay, so Chip was the one that CJ replaced. Chip is okay. I don't even know if he's okay, honestly. He's just kind of like, man, I didn't even know he was the same race. I thought he was like a walrus. I guess I'm thinking about someone else. I could just see the Animal Crossing devs that were just like, okay, we need a fishing tournament villager. And then they just throw him in. Yeah, Chip is kind of dull, honestly. Like, CJ's way better now that I'm actually looking at CJ and comparing the two. Yeah, I definitely don't miss Chip at all. Yeah, sorry, Chip. Copper. Okay, so he is Copper. Cool. Yeah, Copper's okay. I definitely think Booker's the better looking dog, but I do like it because he's kind of the more serious of the two. He has a very cool look to him. I think by himself he's very dull, which is why in New Leaf, when you can choose between the 2 cops, I chose Booker just because his design is just a lot more fun. This one's like kind of just like there. I don't know. Again, I don't dislike him. I just think he's just kind of okay. Like, if we never got Booker and Copper as a unit and just got Copper, I don't think I would like him nearly as much as I would. But since we do get them as a partnership, then yeah, I like Copper. Cornimer. What the heck? What the heck is this? Cornimer. Wait, I gotta look more into this. He comes out during the Acorn Festival in Wild World and gives the player mushroom furniture. What the heck? That is a strange one. That is a very, very strange one. I mean, it's Tortimer too. It's not even... Oh man, let's just move on. Cyrus. Aw, yeah, I love the 2 alpaca villagers or NPCs. I really need to get better at that. I really do love the 2 alpaca NPCs you get in Animal Crossing New Leaf. They're in charge of retail. It's funny because it's a pun. It's retail, and the tail is a tail part of an animal. Yeah, anyway, you always end up talking to Reese a lot more than Cyrus, and it does take a little bit for Cyrus to like get up, which is weird. I feel like for the first half, unless you're just actually good at the game and not like me who's just like, how do I wake up Cyrus? But it felt like for the first half of New Leaf he was just laying there sleeping, so I felt like I didn't really get a chance to like talk with Cyrus, honestly. Which is really weird because I kind of wish the 2 would like take turns in doing the shop. Like kind of like how Timmy and Tommy do, or at least I think they do. I could have swore they did anyway. I would really appreciate like if they did retail again, but like have it so Cyrus and Reese swap just so I can get like more exposure to the both of them. They're a really cute pair, honestly. Yeah, retail was definitely like one of my favorite parts of New Leaf just because the shop was just so cute. I really hope they do get brought back in New Horizons in some capacity. I know they had the whole wedding event between him and Reese. I don't know, it's not enough, man. I want him in my town. But yeah, very, very cute NPC. Daisy May. Daisy May is so cute. Gosh. Okay, they made the right choice in retiring Joan for Daisy May. I mean, I think Joan did her job very well, and I do like how the two are actually related canonically, but oh my god, it just like every single Sunday when she comes up and she has the little snot in her nose and she wants to sell me turnips, I'm just like, oh my gosh, I want to buy turnips just to like help her. Kind of like when you see like Girl Scouts selling cookies, you're like, oh, I just want to support them. Gosh, you know, that's how I feel with Daisy May. I'm just ultimately just like protect. She's super cute. She does her job very well, way better than Joan. I guess that's also kind of a thing where it's just like, well, do you want like the cute little girl or do you want the old Russian lady? I don't know. I'm just gonna move on now. Digby. Oh yeah, Digby. Wow, I think Digby ends up getting forgotten a lot more than he should, considering that he's Isabelle's brother. And Isabelle's arguably the most popular NPC in Animal Crossing. Wow. Yeah, Digby's cool. I do like how he just kind of unapologetically looks like Isabelle. I do feel like some characters, I mean, he's not like, he doesn't look like her on terms of like colors at all or anything like that, but you could look at him and you're like, yeah, I can see that you're Isabelle's brother. I do like the service he has in New Leaf. It was a very interesting one. You could take a look at other people's houses, and I believe it was like Street Pass. I think that was a really cool feature that I wish they would bring back. It is a lot though, I will admit, because in New Leaf you could go to people's towns and like the whole dream thing, but you could also like just strictly visit their houses via Street Pass and just look at them and such. I always thought that was such an interesting feature. But as for Digby himself, I think he gets the job done. He's a good looking one, just not as good as Isabelle, of course. Donn Resetti. He just feels like meme material. Like Mr. Resetti, I guess just wasn't enough. We just had to have Donn Resetti too. I've never been stopped by Donn Resetti when I resetted the game. At least I don't think I did anyway. I always just thought he was such a weird, quirky Animal Crossing occurrence where sometimes you'll get Mr. Resetti and then once in every blue moon you'll get Donn Resetti, who's just a weird stretched out version of Mr. Resetti, and it's just kind of like the Luigi to his Mario. I think he's cute though. I like that he's just a very mellow version of Mr. Resetti. Yeah, he's a classic. Dr. Shrunk. I don't know. I never really liked Dr. Shrunk all that much. That being said, it is crazy because he appears in so many Animal Crossing games, except for New Horizons, which I'm okay with. The thing that's bad about Dr. Shrunk too is that since I don't like him, it makes it really hard for me to just kind of go to him and get stuff. But in the entries he's in, he's actually a very important villager to get. I mean, the problem with Dr. Shrunk is that I really don't like looking at him just because I think he's just a weird looking one. And he runs a very important service in New Leaf. I think in City Folk, he just had a show that you could buy tickets for, so you really didn't have to go. But in New Leaf, you get reactions from Dr. Shrunk. He's a very important NPC you have to see every single day if you want to get all the reactions, and it's not fun. So yeah, I'm just not a big fan of Dr. Shrunk. I wish they would replace him with another cool looking villager. Just give him like the Flick or CJ treatment. Just give us a cool new villager or NPC. Farley. Okay, this one's new too. I've never heard of Farley. What the heck is he? What is this? Oh, he's thought to be a gnome. A gnome? He gives you the golden axe? What the heck? He lives in the fountain. I thought that was the mouse. Okay, this one's weird. I'm moving on. Oh, yes, Flick. Oh, man. Flick is pretty much S tier. He's pretty much the best NPC in the game next to Isabelle, in my opinion. Even though my favorite's Brewster. But, oh my gosh, Flick, when I first saw him, I just couldn't believe how good his design was. He's just a punk rock lizard, and that's super cool. And it's cool because he's an artist as well, and he is so totally like an artist. Like, I've seen like multiple artists in real life just act exactly how he does, and it's kind of amazing. His dialogue is amazing too. Like, legitimately, like, if you're the kind of person who just skips through dialogue in Animal Crossing, listen to his dialogue, because it legitimately had me laughing out loud when I heard it. But yeah, Flick is amazing. He's an amazing NPC. He really set the bar kind of way too high in New Horizons, because his design is just so brilliant. I'm really happy that he's the one in charge of the bug off now, and he's the one you give your bugs to, because he's so cool. Yeah, Flick is amazing. Franklin the turkey. Okay, so Franklin, he's so basic, but it works out to his benefit, because literally, like, if you think of a turkey villager or a turkey NPC in Animal Crossing, you think of Franklin. Like, you don't have to think all too hard, you know? Like, he is exactly what you think the turkey NPC villager would look like in Animal Crossing. I do like how he's kind of in charge of Thanksgiving or whatever. Oddly enough, I don't think I ever did his event, and it's super weird too, because I feel like his event is really easy to do, you know, because Halloween, you're usually at like a Halloween party or doing stuff with candy or whatever. Christmas, you're usually doing Christmas stuff and all that. But Thanksgiving, it's usually like you go to a place, you have dinner, that's it. You know, I mean, yeah, you could be there for the whole day, but it's kind of one of the easier holidays to do. But it's just super weird, because I don't think I've done Franklin's Thanksgiving event, which is why I really want to rectify that in New Horizons. I can't wait for the holidays to come around so I can really see what these villagers are like. Hopefully it's not like Bunny Day, but I guess we'll get to that. Oh god, Zipper is going to be the last NPC on this list because he's a Z. Oh no, gonna end it like that. Frillard. Okay, so I have never seen Frillard in game. Let me see what he is. Frillard is a special character in City Folk. He's in City Folk, okay. He takes the place of Dr. Shrunk on special occasions. Okay, well, I mean, that's cool. I wish we could get him over Dr. Shrunk, because he's a cutie. I really like him. He's a cool one. I loved frilled lizards. Oh man, yeah, I really like this. I really like this NPC. The problem is that since he was in City Folk, we're probably never gonna see him again, which is really, really sad. Oh man, I'm sad now. Man, why do we get Dr. Shrunk over him? I mean, you could say it's like, well, Dr. Shrunk is a more unique animal. I'm like, I don't care about an Anazoxal or whatever it is. I want my frilled lizard. This guy's cool. Why didn't we get him? Gracie. Okay, Gracie. I never really liked Gracie. I think she's only in City Folk. Oh, I mean, okay, to be fair, Gracie, by herself, really good design. I love her design. The giraffe thing she has going, and she does look kind of like that supermodel kind of like, you know, designer kind of look to her. I think her design is brilliant, and I think her overall appeal is brilliant too. That being said, I really don't like Gracie Grace or whatever, her store. Oh man, it's so lame. Like, when you buy stuff from it, everything is so expensive, and it kind of reminds me of those stores in real life where you're essentially just buying the brand. Like, the brand isn't really that amazing, but you have to pay like 15 times more just because it's the brand and you're buying the name. And I don't know, it just kind of reminds me of kind of that trend a little bit. And I remember going into her store in City Folk and just being like, I ain't buying any of this, you know? Plus, it's funny too, because Label works there in City Folk, at least from what I recall she does. And I like Label when she's with her sisters. So yeah, I don't like thinking of Gracie because I think of all these negative elements that come with her. And it's really sad because with her, like her design in and of itself, she's really good, but just everything around Gracie isn't. So that's kind of the reason I don't really care for Gracie all that much. Wait, Gracie Grace is a new leaf? What the heck? Gonna have to look into that one of these days. Grams. Grams. Okay. I love Captain's family. They're super cute. There's not gonna be a lot to say about them though, because they're literally just Captain with just different faces. So yeah, just cute. Gulliver. Yeah, Gulliver's great. I like how they just kept Gulliver around for all these years and never changed him out. And I'm dead serious about that. Yeah, Gulliver's a classic. I don't like how they tried making him an astronaut that one time, but yeah, he really works still, and I love his kind of like sailor look he has to him. Not to mention, I do love seagulls, so that's also just kind of a plus in my book. Harriet! Oh, okay, Harriet's underrated. I'm super sad because Shampoodle never really came... I mean, okay, it was in City Folk and New Leaf, and I always thought it was really, really cool that it was. But it's sad because you don't get her in New Horizons, and the problem is that now you could do your own hair, but it's super sad that you don't get Harriet. I'm so sad because her salon was so fun in the other games. Like, you felt like you were really getting something special. I mean, some people were saying bring back Harriet and just kind of like have her do something else with your hair, like give you even more hairstyles or hair colors or whatever you want. I think that'd be pretty cool, but I don't really know how many people like Harriet enough to want that, so I don't know. But again, I really like Harriet. So Harvey, Harvey, oh, he's a spaniel. Oh, I never knew that. Interesting, because I own a spaniel in real life. I never drew that connection. Okay. Oh, I love Harvey. It does seem like a lot of people don't. Like, I was kind of seeing online that people were getting annoyed with Harvey. I don't see why. I think he's a cute NPC. I love how he sets up the little RV camp in New Leaf. I love that he has his little Harv's Island in New Horizons. I like his whole hippie look he has going for him. Harvey's cool. Harvey's a cool one. Yeah, I really love Harvey. Or Harv, or whatever, which is kind of a funny running joke with him. Because in actuality, it's like, yeah, we think of him as Harv, but he's called Harvey, but he wants to be called Harv, and it's just a whole thing. Isabel. All right, well, here comes good old Isabel. Yeah, Isabel's... There's not really much else to say. She's just pretty much objectively like the best NPC. Her design is brilliant. She's cute. She's amazing. She's pretty much the mascot of Animal Crossing now, which is very bold. Like, I don't, you know, it's very bold that they took that direction and just straight up made Isabel the mascot. And the crazy thing is that they succeeded, you know? Like, she's in Smash Brothers, and she doesn't really feel out of place. It's just like Villager and Isabel, and it's like, yeah, no, that's about right, you know? And it's funny, too, because the mascot used to... I believe it used to belong to Tom Nook, but it's crazy how the fourth game entry, I believe it's the fourth, New Leaf, just decided, hey, we're just gonna make a new amazing NPC, and she's gonna be like the Tom Nook of the game, and she's just gonna be the new mascot of our series. And yeah, it really worked. And bringing her back in New Horizons was kind of a no-duh, you know? Like, if you don't bring her back, then that was just a very bad call. But luckily, they did bring her back. I love how she still does the town messages and such. Yeah, Isabel's great. I love her. She's so great. Jack. Okay, so this one's a really cool NPC. Oh, man. I like how he can pull off not being an animal. I know he's an animal underneath, but I like that he's just wearing a jack-o'-lantern on his head. Just a straight-up just pumpkin on his head. Very clever design for Jack there. And honestly, like, he does make the whole holiday of Halloween in-game a lot more fun. And I think that's just the best thing a holiday NPC can do, is just make their season and holiday a lot more fun. And Jack does that with flying colors. Yeah, Jack's great. Oh, Jingle. I literally... Wow. I literally think of Jingle the same way I do Jack. He elevates his holiday. I mean, Christmas in and of itself is already pretty cool in-game, or Toy Day, or whatever it's called. I should probably just call it Toy Day because that's what it's called in-game. But, I mean, because, you know, you get winter and you get snow and everyone's talking about Toy Day. You get the snow people or the snowmen kind of like, you know, things that you can make. I think that's cool. I think Toy Day all around is a really cool holiday in game, and the furniture you get is really cool looking as well. And Jingle is just kind of the cherry on top of the cake. Like, he's just a cute NPC that you also meet around that time. So yeah, pretty much in the same boat as Jack for me, even though I do feel like Jingle kind of gets the better holiday in game. I don't really know how New Horizons is going to do Halloween though. I hope they make it a lot more, what's the term? Like, I hope they make it a lot more like extravagant, like spooky stuff. I love that. Joan. Okay, so Joan was the NPC that Daisy May ended up replacing in New Horizons, which, you know, it's kind of sad, but at the same time, especially now that I'm looking at Joan, I get it. I really get it. Like, it's not that I didn't like Joan. I just always thought she was just such a weird part of Animal Crossing. Like, she would appear and she's like, do you want turnips? And I never really felt like I trusted her all that much. Like, I'm just like, okay, weird lady, I guess I'll buy your turnips and I can sell these for a profit. While with Daisy May, I'm just like, oh, I can sell these for a profit. Oh man, I guess when in doubt, young people over old people. KK Slider, aw, there's a reason he's been in every Animal Crossing. At least I think he's been in every Animal Crossing. That would be awkward if he wasn't. KK's a classic. I really like that he's been able to survive this long with just such a simple design. Like, think about it. Like, we got Isabel and she has the clothes or whatever, and like all these like crazy villagers with their clothes. KK just shows up and he's just KK, you know? And it's funny too, because the NPCs in Animal Crossing usually wear clothes, and KK just straight up isn't. And in hindsight, that is kind of weird. But, I mean, KK pulls it off. I don't think anyone really talks about that fact either. Yeah, KK's cool. And when he does show up, it is always such a nice thing to get, just to go up to him and get a new song from him. KK Slider is a very classic villager. I love him. Caitlin. Okay, so I never got Caitlin. It seemed like she was mainly in Wild World and then in City Folk, but I never got her in City Folk, and she's never appeared since. I don't know if she's aged necessarily well, because there's just so many good-looking villagers nowadays and NPCs that I feel like Caitlin would kind of clash with them a bit. I never really did her quest, so it's kind of hard for me to have emotional attachment. As for her in and of herself, I don't think she's super amazing. I don't know. Maybe someone out there likes Caitlin a lot more than me. Katie, okay, yeah, Katie comes right after Caitlin. Kind of the same thing. Like, I don't really know those two, so it's kind of hard for me to have emotional attachment. I do think her design is cute. It's just very simple. It's surprising too, because I'm surprised they don't get brought back in New Horizons in some capacity. I mean, I don't think anyone was pulling for them to be in it, but it would be nice, you know, at least for me, since I never really got a chance to experience them because they weren't in New Leaf or New Horizons, and I never got them in City Folk, so yeah. Captain. Captain is cute. I love that he's been in so many Animal Crossing games. I'm really sad and shocked he isn't in this one. Now, don't get me wrong, I like his replacement Wilbur and the Dodos, but I'm very surprised he wasn't in this one in some capacity, which is shocking because he had the whole island thing going for him in New Leaf, and it just seems like a weird kind of thing to do there. I don't know. But again, I love that he's kind of just been in so many Animal Crossing games, either as a bus driver, either as a boat driver. He's great. Captain's great. Katrina. Cute. Yeah, Katrina's cute. I like that she's a panther. I didn't know that she was a panther. That's a neat little detail. I don't know. Her thing is weird, you know. I know you could really exploit her kind of fortune telling or whatever. Like, I guess there's like a thing where if she says you're lucky, you could get some really good stuff for that day. I don't remember how to do it, and she didn't really appear too frequently in New Leaf anyway that I could get her consistently. And it's weird too, because apparently you can get her from Main Street, but I never got her from Main Street. I think you have to see her multiple times in game. I would love it if she sets up something in New Horizons and I could kind of rectify that. That would be amazing. Oh, that being said, there was this quote by Katrina that's so profound. It's simple, but it's ridiculously profound. I don't know, I'm probably overselling it. But I remember Katrina, whenever she ends the whole like fortune telling or whatever, she says, remember, bad times are just times that are bad. And it's just, because at first it was just so simple. I'm like, well, yeah, but then I started thinking about it, I'm like, bad times are just times that are bad. So it kind of like made me think, I'm like, even when you're like sad and depressed or terrible things are happening, those times pass. It was just kind of weird because I kind of liked getting my fortune from her because she would always say that, and it always reminded me, I'm like, that's right, bad times are just times that are bad, you know, and they'll pass and they will not be remembered. So I don't know, I always thought that was such a profound thing she said, even though it's literally the most simple thing I've ever heard. At least in Animal Crossing. Kicks. Okay, Kicks. I always wish Kicks did a little bit more. It seemed like they tried to do more with Kicks in this one. And it's weird too, because Kicks is consistently in New Horizons. I get Kicks a lot But there are multiple other NPCs that I kind of wish I could get over Kix. And don't get me wrong, I love Kix. I love his whole paperboy cap. I love that he's a skunk. And it did seem like they tried just a little bit more with him on terms of like giving him backpacks to sell. But I don't know, I always felt like there was just something more from Kix that I wanted, you know? I think in New Leaf he had a shoe store. I don't remember though. I would love if he could get a store though, or move in with like Tom Nook's, with Timmy and Tommy or whatever. That would be cool. I don't know. I always just wish Kix would do just a tad more than he already does. But other than that, he's a really cute villager. NPC. Gosh dang it. Label or Labelle or whatever. Yeah. Of the two sisters, she's another one. Okay, so here's my thing. I always thought the story of the Able sisters kind of worked better with them as a unit, and it always felt weird that Label was just kind of introduced because I felt like she didn't really fit all too much, because how it goes is that the Able sisters had like parents and they passed away or whatever, and then Label and Sable would fight, and Label wanted to go on her own path and Sable stayed to take care of Mabel. I just realized, gosh, it probably just sounds so weird to someone who doesn't play Animal Crossing just to hear all these names back to back. The Able sisters kind of had their thing going, and Label just kind of felt like she was inserted into that. I do feel like she's cute though. I do like kind of the narrative she brings with her, and her design's pretty okay. She's another Able sister, and she's pretty cool. I do like kind of the thing she has going where she was working for Gracie in City Folk, and it now seems like she's on a way better terms with her sisters. So in New Leaf, she worked with her sisters, and then in New Horizons, she appears every so often. I honestly want her to just go back in the store. You know, just go back in the store. You deserve to be with your sisters. Please. Leaf's okay. I mean, he's just a sloth and he looks like a clown. I don't know. I never really liked Leaf all that much, honestly. I know he cleans your weeds. At least in New Leaf, he doesn't do anything in New Horizons. You have to bring the weeds to him, even though weeds are a lot more important in New Horizon compared to New Leaf. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I never really buy anything from him either because I'm not a huge fan of bushes. At least as of this moment, I'm not a huge fan of bushes. I don't know. Leaf's just okay to me, honestly. Now, if he sold hybrid flowers, then I'd be like, all right, Leaf, you could stay with me. Layla or Leela or whatever. It's just Captain, but it's her daughter and just with Captain's face in a tinier body. It's cute. Lolani. Okay. Just Captain with regular looking eyes. That's also pretty cute. I always thought she was kind of a cool way to take Captain's family, just because she's kind of the only one that looks unique. Lloyd. I'm not really a huge fan of the gyroids. I always just thought they were very weird. It feels like, I mean, I guess it's a Japanese thing, but I never really liked them. They're just kind of weird. Their faces are weird or whatever. I like them as furniture. I think they're cute as furniture, but I never really got Lloyd in the game. Like, I'm like, wait, so you're sentient? I'm very confused. Yeah, I don't know. I don't really like gyroids all that much. Again, I like them as furniture, but not as NPCs, so. Luna, and she's a tapir or whatever. Actually, that's kind of weird, because Drowsy is also one. What does that mean? Is this some kind of like weird species that is like meant to be hypnotic or something like that? I'm gonna have to look into that later. I think she gets the job done. I thought the dream aspect of New Leaf was very interesting. In a way, that'd be cool if they brought it back. It would be cool to just be able to visit a town but not have to worry about messing everything up there and just visiting the villagers, you know? I always thought that was interesting, and you never really, you didn't have to be online or be friends with the person. You could just see their town, and that's just kind of it. Like, you really didn't have to worry about anything else with it. I always thought that was unique. I visited her like a decent amount, just not too much, because again, I like going to towns when you could actually get stuff from their towns and they give you stuff and it's actually physical. But with the Dream World, you couldn't really do anything. It was just pretty much a glorified you look at their town, which, you know, that's cool too, but I don't know. Luna herself, she's okay. Lyle, oh man, Lyle. I mean, I love/hate Lyle, not gonna lie. Bing! The thing with Lyle is that I believe he first appeared in Wild World, and in that game, if you talk to him, he sells you insurance. The kicker is that once you talk to him, you cannot unengage with him. You can't back out. He will force you to buy insurance. He will force you. And I guess it's kind of like a meta commentary for real life, which is really funny. But at the time, I was really mad because he charges you for insurance and it doesn't even really help you all that much. It's like insurance. If you get like stung by a bee, you get like free medicine, or no, you get paid. I don't even think you get medicine. I think you just get paid. But yeah, it is funny because it just seems like Lyle is just kind of the one who shows his face compared to Red, but they're both kind of like swindlers, you know? I do like his role as he tried to be more authentic and like happy home designer and stuff like that. I kind of wish he would be brought back in some regard because I did like him when he was like judging your houses and stuff. And I'm sorry if I said happy home designer. I think I meant just happy home thing, the thing that judges your house. You know what I mean? I don't know if he's in Happy Home Designer, sorry. But yeah, I love / hate Lyle, so take that for what you will. Mabel's super pure and cute and awesome and nice. I love going in there and seeing her all the time. That being said, of the two, I prefer Sable a lot more over Mabel, just because I feel like Sable has a little bit more going on. But Mabel's cute too. I love how just accommodating she is. She's really cool. Nat. Okay, so I actually really liked Nat in the other Animal Crossing games. That being said, Flick completely owned him, which is really sad because, again, I like Nat. And it's sad because I didn't like Chip, but I did really like Nat. And it's sad that I'm probably never going to see Nat again. I do like chameleons in real life, and Nat is one, and he's super cool. Orville. Yeah, he's great. He has a great new look to him. It seems like the ones introduced in New Horizons just have really good designs because they go with the style a lot more compared to like old NPCs that had to be translated into new NPCs. But Orville really rocks it. He's cool. I love him and Wilbur. I might as well just throw Wilbur here too, since they're pretty much kind of the same thing going. They're cool. I like Wilbur's personality a lot more just because he speaks in all that military code and it just sounds insane. The two of them are great. I love the Dodo Airlines. They're really great. Pascal doesn't dream of Bunny Senpai. Pascal's cute. I do like him. He has a really cute design. I never really got his quest. I think I failed it on multiple accounts. I just remember just one time failing his quest and then he just hopped back in the ocean or whatever, or the river or whatever he does, and just floated away, and I'm just like, no, come back! But yeah, Pascal's cool. How many games did he appear in? Let me see. Oh, he appeared in like Wild World, City Folk, and New Leaf. Wow, he's been around. Okay. Yeah, Pascal's cool. Pascal's pretty classic. Pave. She ran a festival? I never really saw her, ever. Yeah, she's extravagant. Not really much else to say. Pelly. Oh, yeah, what happened to the Pelicans? They've been like in like every Animal Crossing and they're not in New Horizons. What is this? Yeah, that's weird. That's super weird. But yeah, Pelly is Pelly. She's a pelican and she doesn't deliver the mail, but she takes the mail and then gets Pete to deliver it to you, which is pretty cool. She runs the day shift while Phyllis runs the night shift, and I guess we'll talk about Phyllis when we get to her. But yeah, Pelly's cute. Not really much else going on with her though, honestly. So yeah, Pete. Pete. I do like Pete. He's really funny. And it was always sad because you could really terrorize Pete in the other games. I think you could like shoot him down with your slingshot, I believe. It was always fun to terrorize Pete, but Pete's fun. I did always like seeing him in New Leaf. It was cool because you never really saw him all too much. You would see him every once so often. He's just like, yup, just delivering the mail. And I'm like, oh, thank you, Pete. Yeah, I like Pete. Phineas. Okay, Phineas needed to be what Chip was. He's a lot better looking than Chip. He's a sea lion. It's interesting his system he has because it gives you badges, and I think that was kind of like the achievement style before Nook Miles. At least I think they were. Like, correct me if I'm wrong, for sure. He's okay. I do think his design is a lot better than his actual purpose. Like, honestly, if they wanted to switch Chip and him in like the Animal Crossing games, I feel like I'd be perfectly okay with that because he looks a lot better than Chip does, in my opinion. I don't know why I'm hating on Chip so much today, forgive me. Phyllis, oh boy. This is a very hated NPC in the game. Okay, so with Phyllis, you know that whole thing with SpongeBob SquarePants where they say it's like as a kid you relate to SpongeBob, but as an adult you end up relating to Squidward? That's how I feel with Phyllis, man, you know, especially after working retail. I unfortunately really relate to Phyllis, because that's the thing. Phyllis is not necessarily all that rude. She just kind of makes snide remarks under her breath, and it's not like she's really saying it to you. Not really. I mean, she gets frustrated if you back out of an order just a little bit. She's just like, oh, okay, well, what do you want to do? And then she makes her snide remark. I feel so bad because I feel like people who've worked retail eventually get to that point because people are just dumb, you know, and people are rude, and your soul is just completely destroyed that you're just like, I just want to clock out now, you know, like it's just like, when is my shift over? I have to talk with this stupid person. I hate to be so negative, but I legitimately think I relate to Phyllis a lot more now than I used to, you know? I mean, I try to be as friendly as I can in retail for sure, but I will definitely make snide remarks if I'm getting really annoyed with them, or if they just make a dumb decision and back out of it, and I'm just like, oh boy. I don't know, I think I understand Phyllis a lot more nowadays, and that's kind of why I kind of like hold her over Pelly, because maybe that's it. Pelly's kind of the optimistic person, you know, just out of school, and she's starting her new job, and she wants to be nice to everyone, and Phyllis is kind of the older one that's been there, and it's still trying to find out what to do with their lives, but it's not really going that well, and I don't know why this got so depressing. I'm just gonna move on. I like Phyllis though. Porter, okay. So the thing with Porter is that I guess there was a villager in like early Animal Crossing that didn't get brought back, and that monkey looked a lot like Porter. And honestly, I'm just like, they should just make that villager into Porter. I don't know why I brought that up. That's just kind of that's kind of the thing I just think about the most when it comes to Porter, because I never really use Porter all that much, you know, because I believe you use him to go to places in online mode in City Folk, or in New Leaf. I don't recall. I never really saw Porter all that much, so it was kind of hard to really like him a lot. Some NPCs you just don't see as much as others. His design is just very basic. It's just a very basic design, and I think they could have done a lot more with him, for sure. That's kind of why I prefer the dodos, because you look at them and you're like, yeah, those look awesome, but Porter's just like, alright, we need like a cute monkey, and then they just kind of threw a cute monkey in there. It's like, alright, cool, 10 out of 10. Red. Oh man, Red. Yeah, Red's cool. I really wish his design was a little bit more out there though, but I guess what can you expect from a villager that's as old as Tom Nook himself? At least I think he is. Let me look. Yeah, he's been in every Animal Crossing. Yeah, I do like kind of the whole thing he has going where he's kind of like an evil version of Tom Nook. For those of you who think Tom Nook is evil already, well, no, Red is way more evil than Tom Nook. That being said, I do wonder if he's just a shady swindler or he's a legitimately bad person. I always wonder that, because he does seem to kind of like care, and he's just like, oh, hey, you're back, you know? I mean, I know he just wants to sell you stuff, but I don't know, I always liked him for that. He sells you fake paintings. You have to look at his paintings and make sure they're real so you can put them in your museum. Otherwise, Blathers will refuse them. So you could end up spending a lot of money on a painting that you can't even donate to Blathers, which is really bad. But yeah, I always liked the role Red had in all the games. Not to mention, I like his music, the whole... I always thought that was such like a cool tune. Yeah, I can't bring myself to not like Red. Red is great. Reese. Oh, yay, Reese. Aw. Yeah, I could see why Cyrus married Reese. Yeah, she's a cutie. I love the kind of pink kind of like wool she has going there. It's really cute. I think her and Cyrus make a great pair. I do like how you just saw her so much in New Leaf. That being said, it was really hard because my retail was actually like, okay, so I lived at the bottom right of the map, and I put the retail was placed at the top left. I forgot what you can do in New Leaf, and I had to go there just every day to sell stuff because it's the only place in the game that you could sell stuff, which is really hard. But yeah, I think she did her role well, you know, because she essentially replaced Tom Nook / Timmy and Tommy for places to sell your stuff to, and I think she did her job well. I do like retail, and I do like her and Cyrus. So Mr. Resetti, oh man. Now this is as classic gets. everyone knows Mr. Resetti. He's the NPC that originally showed up when you reset the game and you didn't save. He would yell at you for resetting. And you could get past this sometimes by saying your battery died or whatever, but in his first game, he was brutal. He was so brutal. I guess there were sometimes like he talked for so long, and I guess they were like randomly generated. Like some stuff would last longer than others. At least this is what my friend said to me many years ago, that sometimes you had to just reset the game and try again to get like a shorter scolding from Mr. Resetti, because he would just waste your time. That being said, I do feel like he got the point across very well, to the point where I guess kids didn't like him, and and I guess there was outcry to make Mr. Resetti less mean as the entries went on, and also take him out of the game entirely, which is really sad. In New Leaf, I brought him back as soon as I got the chance to, because he's just such a classic, you know? It's funny, too, because I'm just super surprised he's not in New Horizons. I know he does the whole Nook Mile Tickets rescue service thing, but that's not enough, man. I gotta see my Resetti, you know? Like, he's such a classic. I want to see my Mr. Resetti. I do hope they bring the manhole cover back, because I'd love to see it. Even though autosave is in the game, I'd love to go see Resetti and see how he's doing, and his brother. Oh, and I forgot, he's in Super Smash Bros. As an assist trophy. That's so amazing. Rover. Okay, Rover's great. He looks like a really good cat villager, but he's an NPC. Like, it feels like they just translated a cat villager and made him an NPC. Not gonna lie, my favorite thing about Rover, though, is just kind of his personality. He is just super cool, and the thing that I love about Rover, too, is that he struts his stuff, and he does not care what you think. You could be super rude to him in all the Animal Crossing games, and he just does not care. I believe in, like, one of the games, he's like, hey, is this spot taken? And you could say it's just like, oh, yeah, it is, or whatever, and he's just like, oh, okay, well, I'm sitting here anyway. I'm like, oh my gosh, Rover, you're a savage, bro. Yeah, Rover's great. I love Rover, and I love that he was also brought back in New Horizons as the Mayday event. Since you only got to see like Rover once in the entire game in those ones, I do appreciate that they brought him back in sub capacity, so yeah. Sahara. Okay. Yeah, Sahara's cool. I do like her. She has the cool camel thing going on there. I feel like I like Sahara a lot more now than I did then, just because the wallpapers and floors she sells are actually really cool in New Horizons. I don't believe she ever sold moving wallpaper in the other Animal Crossing entries, nor floor that actually had texture on it, like dirt floor that is actually dirt when you walk on it. Correct me if I'm wrong again, but that's kind of the reason I didn't really like Sahara in the past entries, just because I always felt like she was there and she charged a lot for just minuscule stuff, and it always felt weird because she always appeared quite frequently, at least compared to other visiting NPCs, and that's kind of why I didn't really like her all too much. But in New Horizons, I love her. Like, she's great, and I love getting the rugs and the really cool wallpapers and floors. I think she does her job well of just being a camel salesman. I mean, a saleswoman. Not a saleswoman who sells camels. You get what I mean? It's Animal Crossing. Sable from the Able sisters. Yeah, Sable's my favorite of the two. In City Folk, I never talked to her. I talked to her once and she was like, hey, I'm busy. And I always just thought it's like, oh, okay, well, she just must be doing her own thing all the time, so don't talk with her. And then in New Leaf, I was going to make the same mistake, but then someone told me, he's like, no, talk to Sable, she opens up. And I'm just like, really? And then, yeah, sure enough, you talk to her every day, and eventually she just becomes your best friend, and she talks with you about very intimate stuff with her and her sister and, like, their stories, and it's very sweet. It's a very sweet relationship in Animal Crossing that I've always appreciated reliving in all the entries, even though I've only, like, done it in 2 of them. And that being said, I have to bring this up. So, I used to work for Regal, movie theater chain in the United States, and there was this guy, and I loved this, but there was this guy, and I swear he was just like Sable. He just had the look of just being so tired all the time. He would just do his work all the time. He would never talk to you. Like, he would reply, but he would never talk to you. It's just like, how you doing today? He's just like, I'm doing okay. You know, and he just continued doing his stuff. He would never converse. And it's so funny because I got him on shift, like, quite a few times, you know. And I talked with him, and, you know, all the time he'd just be like, I'm doing okay, you know, da-da-da-da-da. And then just one day, he just decided that he liked me. And he just wanted to talk with me. And then all of a sudden, he turned into Sable. Like, literally turned into just like an unmellow dude who was just like, hey, Dean, how you doing? And I'm just like, oh, hi, you know? And he's just like, how's it going today? I'm like, it's going okay, Sable. I mean, other person. Literally just like Sable. I just had to talk with him enough times at the Regal to get him to finally converse with me. And I'm talking like he would like invite me to his house, like, hey, I'm having a movie night at my house. You're invited if you want to come. And I'm just like, wow, okay, just a good friend now out of nowhere. I just had to press A on you multiple times to get you to talk to me, and I guess now we're friends. And I didn't even have to time skip. So yeah, it's kind of one of the reasons I like Sable. I like the relationship you get with her, and I also just like I have a story similar to a real life Sable, so yeah. Serena. I never got Serena. I think she was the way you got like the golden stuff back then. I don't remember what you get, but yeah, that's the one I remember, that you can throw stuff into a fountain and she'd spit it out as golden stuff. At least that's what I think she did. Yeah, she's pretty. I like that she's just a chihuahua. I mean, I'm not hating, but thinking of super pretty dog angels, I don't think of chihuahuas first, so I think it's kind of funny that she's just a chihuahua angel or whatever. Timmy and Tommy, Tommy and Timmy. Yeah, they're great. I do love the two of them. They're super cute. I like that they're just kind of the nephews of Tom Nook that he took under his wing. I do love them as a unit. I also love the meme where, because the whole thing with Timmy and Tommy is that I think it's supposed to be like one of them is trying to like talk with the other or something. So, for example, they'll be just like, welcome to Tom Nook's store. Would you like to buy anything? Anything. And it's just like, oh, that's super cute. But anyway, I digress. Timmy and Tommy are great. They're really cute, and I'm glad they've been around for so long. Tom Nook. Okay, this is pretty much the mascot of Animal Crossing in general. Isabel pretty much took that spot, but Tom Nook is still around, and he's just like, you know what? I'm here on your off days, you know? Tom Nook, what else is there to say about Tom Nook? There is kind of a weird stigma with Tom Nook where a lot of people do think he's like evil, and there's a lot of kind of like memes with that, you know, because he's a landlord. But honestly, if you were to get a landlord like Tom Nook, that would be a blessing. He's so nice. And his kind of mantra in life is he never really wants to be a bad landlord or someone you pay mortgage to, because he doesn't like holding people at choke point for things. I mean, I know it's kind of more of a joke that he's a loan shark, but he's a cool dude. And I mean, landlords gotta eat too, you know? And honestly, yeah, if I ever got a landlord like Tom Nook, I'd love it. Like, he's just super cool. He doesn't charge you interest or anything, and he just like, yeah, just pay it back when you pay it back. No one does that, you know? Yeah, Tom Nook's a blessing. He's really cool. And there's a lot of lore with Tom Nook, surprisingly. Like, apparently him and Red used to be friends, and Red screwed him in like a business transaction or something. And oh my gosh, there's just so much with Tom Nook, and it's just so crazy. So I'm definitely glad Tom Nook is one of our mascots of Animal Crossing. Again, it's hard to say who is the mascot, because I always think it's Isabel, and I'll still stand by that it's Isabel. But Tom Nook is just, he's Tom Nook, you know? Like, who do you think of when you think Animal Crossing first? Other than your favorite villager, you know what I mean? Tortimer. Okay, well, Tortimer, okay, so he was the mayor in all the games before you took it from him in New Leaf, which is very interesting. He essentially retired in New Leaf, and I'm very scared because he's not New Horizons, and he was getting up there in age, and I don't want to think about that. please, Animal Crossing, don't do anything to villagers and NPCs that we love. But yeah, Tortimer was okay. I don't think he was the best thing ever, which is why I think they replaced him. I do respect him for just being so classic though, because he was a very important NPC in the other ones because he was the mayor of the town that you lived in. So yeah, I respect him for that reason. I'd love if they bring him back in some capacity just to show us he's just living his best life in retirement. I don't know. I think that'd be pretty cool. Wendell. I don't remember Wendell at all. Okay, I guess he was part of the dream thing in New Leaf. What the heck is he? That's so weird. I don't really have anything to say about Wendell. He's just a walrus who has pajamas on. I mean, have a good night's sleep, Wendell. Wisp is cute. He's a cutie. I really like kind of the designs for ghosts that Japan has. At least I think it's Japan compared to our ghosts. Or it's the stereotypical ghosts anyway, where they kind of have the arms and like kind of the tail or whatever. I do like it because he does look like a Boo from Super Mario, and I love Boos and bloopers, but I digress. Yeah, Wisp is cool. I like his little mini game where you have to just like get the pieces of him back, and he does grant you a little wish. He always has such a unique role in the Animal Crossing games, and I appreciate him for that reason. Wisp is really cool. Zipper T-Bunny. I mean, even before it kind of became popular to hate on Zipper, I didn't really like him just because he felt just so blah compared to the other three cool ones. Because even Franklin, I'm just like, yeah, you're a neat little turkey, but Zipper just looks so weird, you know? And it's weird too because he's not himself. Like he's in a costume. And that's just so strange to me. I'm like, why can't Zipper the bunny be just a bunny? You know, why does he have to be another animal in the costume? So, I don't know, I always thought it was super weird. Not to mention, he does look a bit creepy now that I'm actually looking at it, and he is kind of annoying. So, I don't know, I'm definitely not the biggest fan of Zipper, even before New Horizons, but it is funny seeing the memes of how everyone hates Zipper. So yeah, not the biggest fan of Zipper. And yeah, I think that's all the NPCs. I'm very surprised. The list on Nookopedia or whatever. Wait, is this Nookopedia? Oh, it's the Animal Crossing wiki. Okay. The list here is very accurate. I think I pretty much talked about every single NPC in the game. I can think of no other NPC. Huh. Well, okay then. Let's move on to Amiibo Villagers, shall we? And just to specify, these are Amiibo exclusive villagers. These are the villagers. I'm not talking about villagers that you get with the cards. You know, for example, Carmen, you know, because she's a villager in the game. And even though she is an Amiibo card, I'm not talking about them. I'm talking about like the ones from other series that you could scan in, such as Link and Splatoon. Okay, so I am going to try. This is hard because looking up Amiibo villagers is really hard because it always brings up villager card stuff when I'm just trying to look up the exclusive one. So let me see. I'm gonna have to go to like RV exclusive. Let's see. Okay, I think I can pull some from this list. Okay, let me see. Okay, Cece. Yeah, I believe you get her by scanning in the Callie amiibo into Animal Crossing. I'm not gonna lie, I don't really like Cece. I don't think I like the other one either, but I'll get to her when I get to her. I don't think the design of Callie, like, works that well on a squirrel, you know? Like, I don't really like that. I wish they could have done it with another villager type, but I guess it would look weird on, like, another villager type. I mean, in a perfect world, you just make them all octopus, but I know that's also kind of weird, too, so, I don't know. Not the biggest fan of Cece. Epona! That's super cute. I do love how they got the colors perfectly from Epona, who is Link's wolf from The Legend of Zelda. They got the colors exactly right, and it is cute to just say, I have Epona in my town. It's just, that's a really cute little feat, and I would totally love Epona in my town. I mean, she is a little basic, but I mean, what can you expect? It's just it's just Link's horse, you know? They couldn't really take any creative liberties there, you know? Ganon. I love that Ganon is just a legit villager. They took Pig King Ganon from Legend of Zelda and just made him a pig villager, and it's super cute. Like, it's literally just Ganon from Link to the Past or whatever, and he's just a pig villager. I would totally have Ganon in my town. In fact, I'm kind of sad because I kind of feel like just going back to New Leaf, buying a Ganondorf amiibo, and just scanning him in just so I could have Ganon. I would love to have Ganon in my town just for the sake of saying I have Ganon in my town. You know? Inkwell. Okay, so Inkwell is the 4th octopus villager, at least I think. I don't know if there were any other promotions. I like Inkwell a lot. I think he's definitely the best looking Splatoon villager you can get because he just goes with the theme very well. Like his eyes look like how they're supposed to look. He's orange. He just looks cool, and I really liked having Inkwell in my town. He was the one I had in my town in New Leaf because I own an Inkling Girl amiibo. Right when Splatoon came out, I got one. And yeah, like, he's definitely one of... to rank him between the octopus villagers, I would say Zucker's my favorite, and Inkwell's my second favorite, and then Marina right behind Inkwell. In fact, maybe even at an equal level with Inkwell, and then Octavian to end it off. Yeah, Inkwell's great. I really like him. Louis. Okay, I know Louis isn't an amiibo villager, but I just like came across him right now. I feel so cheated that Louis is not Donkey Kong. Makes me think, like, I'm just like, we needed a Donkey Kong villager. Like, we really did. Medley! Oh, I'd love to have Medley in my town. I love Medley from Wind Waker, and it would be super cool to just have Medley in my town. She's just a brilliant villager. Like, they just straight up made her a bird. And that's so amazing that they turned a Legend of Zelda hybrid species character into an actual species character in Animal Crossing. That's very smart. And I'm super glad we were able to get Medley in the game. Vichy. Wow, I did not expect that to be Mary's name in Animal Crossing. Now that I'm looking at her, I don't think I like her as much. I like her over Cece, but I don't really like her that much either. I don't know. She looks weird, and the look doesn't really look good on her. I don't know. I think they tried the best they could to make Callie and Murray into actual villagers in Animal Crossing, and I think they did okay. But I just don't think I don't think their looks translate that well into the game, which is very sad, honestly. Wolf Link. Oh, okay. So Wolf Link is probably my favorite amiibo villager. He is really cool. Him, Ganon, and Inkwell are probably my favorite amiibo villagers. I did own Wolf Link and Inkwell in New Leaf, and you just got Wolf Link by simply scanning in the Twilight Princess Link amiibo. Well, I think it's just the Link amiibo you get with Super Smash Bros., but that look is inspired by Twilight Princess, so it works in the game. Yeah, Wolf Link is great. Like I said, there's so many good S-tier wolves, and it's hard because now we got another S-tier wolf, you know, which is Wolf Link. And yeah, it was super cool. I loved going into his house and seeing all the cool Zelda stuff in there. Very cool villager. Very cool villager. And gosh, they got the colors spot on. He's great. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, you know what? I'm just gonna say he is definitely my favorite amiibo villager. So yeah, I think that's all the special villagers and NPCs in Animal Crossing. I think I ranked all of them. Wow, I'm very proud of myself. I finally got through it. If there are any NPCs that I was missing, please let me know, because I do want to make sure I get through every single NPC. I do think I covered every single amiibo villager for certain, though, so I don't think there should be any I'm missing there. But yeah, hope you guys enjoyed this video, and get ready for Oddie Part 3. So prepare for that chaos. I shall see you guys soon. Special thanks to my top-tier patrons: Adam the Universal, Lady Kitty, Ryan Ely, Pharaohhet, Aki, Crack Yoin, Terror XD, and Bumblebutt.